Good day, chums, and welcome. In the world of SaaS, clear and elegant communication is key, and that starts with high quality visuals. One of the most effective ways to achieve this is through sophisticated text animations. Today, we will be deconstructing a popular and visually appealing gradient text style similar to what you might see in a demo for a platform like Teamable. My goal is to provide you with a clear, actionable guide so you can implement this technique in your own projects immediately. We will explore the tools and effects within Adobe After Effects to achieve this result with precision and ease. So grab a cup of coffee and let's begin this lesson. So we are here in Adobe After Effects. Let's create a new composition for this. Just hit Ctrl N to open a new composition settings and let's call it as animate like Teamable. Now for the preset, I will go with horizontal 1920 by 1080 pixels with the frame rate of 30 frames per second. You can go with the 4K or 2K settings according to your like. Now for the duration, I will be going with 15-second duration, and for the background color, let's set it to black for now. Hit OK and now hit OK again. Now we have to add a background for now. So go to layer, just go to new and select the solid layer and let's call it as BG for background. And for the color, let's choose a white color for now. We will apply the 4-color gradient effect afterwards. Just hit OK. Now apply a 4-color gradient effect to this. Just hit enter to apply a 4-color gradient effect. Now for this particular text animation, follow the color palette I am using, or you can use any color you like, but for this particular text animation, the following color palette is most suitable for that. Okay, just make all the colors for black now except the last two colors. Just make these black. Now for the third color, let's make it dark pink, something like that. Hit OK. And now for the fourth color, let's choose the same color but a brighter version for that, not too much brighter, something like that. I think it's good. Okay, hit OK. Now we have this cool background effect. Let's make the third color a little bit darker. Hit OK. Now we have this background. Just increase the jitter value all the way up to 100 to remove the bending effect from your background, or it will ruin your edits. Okay, now we have to animate these corner points. So just make a keyframe. Make sure the playhead is at the beginning of the timeline. Make a keyframe on point 4 and move the playhead to something around 10 seconds, and just move this point, this handle, and just drop this at this corner, something like that. Okay, hit U to see its keyframe. Just select these keyframes, hit F9 to apply easy ease. Now our animation will look like this. Okay, now we have to add an expression for these 2 points. So holding Alt, just click on this point 4 stopwatch and type an expression called wiggle open bracket 2,150, or let's go with 100. Just hit enter, or you can click on anywhere in the composition to execute the expression. So our point will wiggle, something like that. Okay, so it will give a cool look to your background. Let's copy this expression. Just click on point 4, right click on copy expression only, and just expand the background layer. Click on point 3 and just hit Ctrl V to paste the expression, and just you will get that cool effect to your background. Okay, if you see higher value for the wiggle effect, just decrease the value. Let's go with 50 and let's change that first value to 1. Okay, let's change both the values for now. Yeah, perfect. Now it's good. Okay, select this background layer, hit U to hide everything. Now let's add our text for now. Just grab the text type tool. Make sure the horizontal type tool is selected. Let's type any text you like. Let's type animate your text like. Just select your text. I'm using the SF Pro Display bold style font. You can use any font you like, but this font is super cool and good for UI text animations like SAS or Teamable. Okay, just align it in the center of the composition, something like that. Just decrease the size a little bit. Let's go for 125 pixels. Again, align it in the center of the composition and make sure the anchor point is in the center of the text. Now let's animate it. So select your text, hit S to open the scale property and make a keyframe on a scale, T to open the opacity property and make a keyframe on opacity. Hit U to see both the keyframes at once. Select these two keyframes and let's move like something around 1.5 seconds, and make sure the playhead is at the beginning of the timeline again, and just increase the scale value to something around 115 and just decrease the opacity all the way to 0%. Okay, now select your keyframes, hit F9 to apply easy ease. Just go to graph editor, make sure the speed graph is selected. Just make a graph something like this, so it comes fast and goes slow. Okay, so let's see a text animation. Yeah, it just looks super cool. Now let's give it a cool blur effect type. So select your text, expand your text layer properties and click on animate and just click on blur property. Now just increase the blur value, not too much, something around 8%, and just expand the range selector, expand the advanced property, and just make sure the shape is set to ramp up, and just change the base down to words and just animate the offset property. Make sure the playhead is at the beginning of the timeline. Make a keyframe on offset with a value of 0% and move the playhead to around 1.5 seconds, and just increase the value all the way to 100%. Yeah, select your text, hit U to see all the keyframes, select your text again, hit F9 to apply easy ease, and just make a graph something like that. Perfect. Now our text animation will look like this. Okay, perfect. Now let's give it a cool gradient effect. So just grab the regular rectangle tool, or you can go with the rounded rectangle tool, but rectangle tool is good for now. Select the rectangle tool and now make a perfect shape, something like that, like this. Align it vertically according to your text. And now let's apply the gradient effect. So holding Alt, click on this fill color and it will change to linear gradient effect, and just choose the colors like that, something like this. Hit OK. Hit V to get back to the selection tool and just increase these handles at like this. I think it's looking good, not too much. Yeah, perfect. Now quickly let's rename this as text gradient. Now let's apply some effects to this background. So firstly, let's apply the turbulent displace effect and just change the turbulent to turbulent smoother, and just play with the settings according to your like. Just increase the complexity, something around 1.6, and holding Alt, click on the evolution stopwatch and type a cool expression like time ashtray 50. Just hit enter to execute the expression. Just increase the complexity a little bit. Perfect. Let's increase the amount a little bit and change the pinning to pin all and change the initializing to high. Now our gradient effect look like this. Now what you have to do is just apply a deep glue effect to this, or you can use the regular default glue effect. And let's play with the settings, something like this, 0.06. just decrease the radius. And now what you have to do is just using this pick whip tool, just track mat this gradient shape layer to the text and make sure to turn on the text layer so it is visible to you. Now let's see our animation. Its color changed. Now let's animate our shape first. So select your text gradient layer and hit P to open the position property and make a keyframe on position, and just holding shift and left arrow keys, just drag your rectangle something like out of the composition. Now move the playhead to around 1.5 seconds forward, and just holding shift and right arrow keys, just drag these rectangle all the way up to right of out of the composition. Okay, now select your keyframes, hit F9 to apply easy ease, and just go to graph editor and make a graph something like that. Render it for the smooth playback. Now again we have to apply some effects to this background layer. So let's select this text gradient shape layer and hit R to open the rotation property and just set the rotation something like that. Make sure the anchor point is in the center of the shape. Let's drag something like that. Let's set the rotation to -20. Now I'm gonna apply is like fast possible. Apply it and just increase the blur radius to something around 50. For the more smoother gradient effect to your text, just decrease the rotation to 2. Now let's see our animation. If it looks so fast, just select the last keyframe of your shape text gradient layer and just drag it something around here. Now let's see our animation. If it lags, just render it for the smooth playback. Yeah, it's looking good. So yeah, and text will animate something like that. Okay, now to end like this, select your text gradient layer, hit U to hide all the keyframes. Now let's end this. So select your text layer again, hit S to open the scale property, or hit U to see all the keyframes at once, and add this frame something around 2.5 seconds. Make a keyframe by clicking on this little keyframe icons to give it a pause, and move the playhead to something at this frame, and just decrease the scale value to something around 90%, and just decrease the opacity to 0%, and just decrease the offset value to 0. Select your last 2 keyframes set and just go to speed graph editor and make a graph something like that. Now to give it a cool gradient effect at last, so just select your text gradient layer and hit U to see its keyframe, and at this frame around second keyframe, hit Alt or right bracket key to split the shape layer, and just hit Ctrl D to make a duplicate of it, and just drag this above these last 2 keyframes. And now using the pick whip tool, set the track mat of this second text gradient to your text. And now what you have to do is just change the color for now. So go to fill and change the gradient color to something all the way up to black. Okay, hit OK, and now our animation will look like this. Just adjust the keyframes, hit U to see the keyframes, and just increase the timeline of your layer. And now yeah, perfect. Let's render it for the smooth playback. I think it's looking good. Yeah, perfect. Now what you have to do is just let's type another text. First, the first text is animate your text like, and the second text, let's select the text type tool and type a text called TMBL. Select your text, and for the font I will be going with the same font as Malai bold and just increase the size something around 200 pixels. Align it horizontally and vertically in the center of the composition and make sure the anchor point is in the center of the text, and just make sure the tracking is set to -35. Now just drag this layer around here and let's see when our first text animation is ending at this frame. Just drag this second text layer something around here, and now what you have to do is select these first text layer keyframes, hit Ctrl C to copy it, and select your second text layer and make sure the playhead is at the beginning of the text layer. Hit Ctrl V to paste the keyframes. Now our animation will look like this. Now what you have to do is just change the track matte of this text. So select your text and just again duplicate the first text gradient layer, hit Ctrl D to make a duplicate of it, and just drag this above the TML text and just drag this at the beginning of the text something like that. Hit U to see its keyframe, and now make sure to, using the pick whip tool, change the track matte of this text gradient 3 to the TML text and make sure to turn on the TML text so it is visible to you. And now our text animation will look like this. Yeah, it's looking good. Now you can see the text animate something like that. Click on this text gradient 2 layer, hit Ctrl D to make a duplicate of it. Just drag it above the text gradient 3 layer and just drag it something around here. Just select your second text layer, TML text, hit U to see its keyframes, last keyframe set, and make sure the layer is something around here. Now change the track matte of this text gradient 4 layer to the TML text. And now our text animation will fade with the back blur. Let's render it for the smooth playback. Yeah, so it goes something like that. Okay, now let's set a markout something around here. Just click on N to make a markout and holding shift select all the layers, hit U to hide all the properties, and now lastly turn on the motion blur for all the layers except the background layer. Lastly, let's render it for the smooth playback, and now let's see our final version. So yeah, that was our text animation. I hope you had as much fun as creating this as I did showing you how. Remember, the best way to learn is by doing, so I encourage you to play with the settings and make this effect your own. To help you on the journey, the complete project file is available for free. You will find the link in the description box below. Our community is growing on Instagram and I would love for you to be a part of it. Come and say hello. And if you believe in what we are building here and want to support the channel in a small but a meaningful way, my Patreon page is the place to go. For the price of just one meal, you can directly contribute to future tutorials. Every bit of support is immensely appreciated. Thank you for your time and your trust. Happy designing, folks.